Hello everyone and welcome to Virtue Tech. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the VCHANCE AQ16TH. This is the touchscreen version of their QHD 2560 by 1600 16:10 aspect ratio portable monitor, which I picked up on AliExpress. So taking a closer look at the display itself, right now I do have it set to 100% brightness, but I'm going to unplug it, and there's something I want to show you later on too. And then on the right side, you do have a female USB port, and this is for plugging in peripherals like a mouse, keyboard, that sort of thing. And then you've got a power button as well as a on-screen display button as well to open and close that, and then a volume up and volume down button. On the left side, you've got a headphone jack, and this is decent quality. And then you've also got a 2 Type-Cs as well as a full-size HDMI port on the back. And this is a well-built monitor. This is metal. You've also got 2 stereo speakers, not so great and very, very tinny. Maybe okay for retro gaming or just basic use like YouTube videos. And this is a built-in kickstand as well. Display itself, I do have a touchscreen version, so my one is reflective. This is a glass screen. They do also sell a non-touch version, which I believe has a matte screen. This portable monitor also does come with a protective sleeve like the one over here, so it's included in the box, so you can just take this with you and keep everything nice and cushioned and safe. One of the things that I did want to show you about this is that you can actually power this using a single Type-C cable. The problem is, and just a heads up, this may have already been fixed, as I did previously review a 4K version of this, and someone in the comments said that it's been fixed, that they have a newer software. But I picked this one up last year, so I'm just reviewing this one now. If I plug this in, I'm just using a single Type-C cable, wait for this to power on. There you go. And the brightness is now at 20%. And this happens every time. So there you go, it's at 20%. This happens if you're using a single Type-C cable, but then you do have to go into the on-screen display and bump up the brightness. Let me just take a look at it. There you go. And now bump it all the way back up to 100%. 20% is quite dim. I don't like using it at 20%. As this is a portable monitor, I do find it a bit irritating just having to constantly adjust the brightness, and not even when I'm unplugging. If I just turn off my computer, turn it back on again, it resets. If I go into a game where the resolution is different, you know, you go into full screen mode, bam, the brightness goes back to 20%. It is really, really irritating. The way to solve this is to use a separate Type-C cable to power it. What they've told me about the brightness situation, which they may have already fixed, but it was because some devices can't provide sufficient power for 100% brightness, so that's why they did this. Seems kind of silly to me, but I have heard in the newer software version, you do have a set button, which lets you save the brightness to memory, so it stops doing this. You can also control the brightness from the Windows itself. So there you go. So that's dim. You can see that. You just need to download a Windows application called Monitarian. Shout out to someone for actually telling me about this. And yeah, so display itself is super sharp. It is a really bright panel. It is a vivid panel as well with good colors. You may need to go into the on-screen display just to calibrate it. I don't believe it is factory calibrated, but it is a really nice display with good touchscreen functionality as well. If you go for that model, the build quality is nice as well, and the viewing angles are also really good for an IPS display. You can see how this looks. I would recommend you do pick up a portable stand. These only cost like a few dollars on AliExpress, and reason for this is the maximum amount of incline you can get, so that's about it, which is actually perfectly usable. But getting a portable stand also boosts up your... If you are looking to purchase this, I will have an affiliate link in the description down below. This does help out the channel tremendously. This portable monitor does support 144 Hz, but if you do want to use it at 144 Hz, you do have to use one of the Type-C ports. It does support 120 Hz through HDMI, and it does also work on the PlayStation as well. So PS5, Xbox, not a problem. You won't get variable refresh rate through the HDMI port, but yeah, but HDR will work. HDR works good on this, but you may need to calibrate it just so your colors look good. On desktop, especially on Windows, I always recommend just keeping it off. If you are using it on a PlayStation, you will have black bars at the top and bottom because this is a 16:10 aspect ratio, so the screen is a bit taller, and PlayStation doesn't really support that, so you'll just have some black bars you have to deal with. On Windows, this is not a problem. And speaking of the black bars, I have been having some issues in some games like GTA 5 and in Apex, where I can't get 16 to 10 to work at 1080p. So if I have 1920 by 1200p, I have black bars, even though it's a 16:10 resolution. So the picture just looks weird, and I have black bars. Again, this might be a software problem as well, but it just makes the picture look really weird. The solution is, if you're not running at native resolution, to just run at 1920 by 1080, 16:9. Because if you try and do 1920 by 1200, a non-native 16:10 aspect ratio, somehow the monitor is forcing 16:9, even though the resolution is 16:10. And there's no way to tell the monitor, no, make this 16:10. And the image looks a bit weird. The other problem that I also wanted to talk to you about is FreeSync. So this monitor does have FreeSync support, but once I turn it on, what you're going to see here is, so yeah, first of all, because I've turned it on and the monitor reset, the brightness has gone down to 20%. So if I turn the brightness back up to 100%, there you go. And let me go into a FreeSync software. I have also tested this on GTA 5 and Apex as well. So this isn't just happening on this FreeSync test, it is just happening everywhere. So yeah, right now the moving instant frames per second is 50 frames per second, but the monitor, okay, so I did that and somehow FreeSync is still turned off. So let me try and turn it back on again. Hopefully now FreeSync does turn on. Okay, FreeSync is still not turned on. Okay, finally FreeSync is now turned on. The monitor just keeps restarting itself every time you want to turn on and off FreeSync, and then the memory keeps resetting. So yeah, 100% brightness, FreeSync. This is the test for FreeSync to check for tearing, and you're going to see, yeah, you saw the screen flash. This is the problem that I've been having when I turn on FreeSync. The screen just keeps flashing. Yeah. So I have now just plugged in a external power plug. This is 20 watts. So the brightness has now gone to 100%. Now let me try turning on FreeSync. Okay, so FreeSync is now turned on. My mini PC can provide enough power. It is just a problem with the monitor constantly resetting itself. And then this is the problem with FreeSync. There you go. FreeSync is turned on and the screen just keeps flashing. What I am seeing on the display over here is 2560 by 1600, but at 110 hertz. So not at the 144 hertz, but the image is rotating at 53, 54, 55 frames per second, which is weird because if it has FreeSync, then the monitor refresh rate should sync. And if I turn off tearing and test pattern, yeah, there is basically tearing, even though FreeSync is turned on and it's running at 110 hertz. The other issue that I've noticed as well in games like GTA 5 and Apex as well is the screen just starts flashing with FreeSync turned on. If FreeSync is turned on, it just keeps flashing. Going to Apex Legends. Besides FreeSync being a problem, which may already be fixed in software, like I said, I did buy this back in, I think, November, December last year. I bought two of these, so I have two monitors, both of them, same model, 2.5K, and they both have this issue with the FreeSync, so it's not just my one, but I do think it's a software issue, so their quality control might not be the best. Because yeah, this software glitches that they have is it's pretty silly, and it's a really simple fix. Just flash the right software onto the controller, onto the display controller. So let me just check FreeSync hasn't turned off. Okay, FreeSync is still turned on. So yeah, FreeSync turned on and there's more than monitor, but I can't load up the game right now because of FreeSync. Yep, you can see what's going on. It just keeps flashing if there's FreeSync turned on. I think the FreeSync profile just hasn't been set properly. So if the frames per second just dips below a certain threshold, it just does this and it just does not want to turn on. So the way to fix this is to go into desktop, turn off FreeSync, and now it should just work. But yeah, there you go. Now it's actually letting me play the game. If you are looking to purchase this, I would have affiliate links in the description down below, and clicking on that really does help out. And if you are looking to purchase it, I would just say message the seller, ask them, hey, VCHANCE, is variable refresh rate working? You know, FreeSync, did you get that to work? And also the brightness as well. Just ask them, have you sorted out the brightness issue? Do I need to keep resetting the brightness every time I turn on and off my device, or plug it and plug it back in if I'm using a single Type-C cable? Someone in the comments told me that these, at least the brightness issue is fixed. So gaming performance is good. Everything looks smooth. Colors look really, really nice as well. I am only running this at about 72, 73 frames per second, but everything looks good. I don't have a problem with this. It's actually a nice monitor. I also wanted to just show you what the sound quality is like with the built-in speakers. Okay, they're usable. Again, they're not that deep. They have quite a lot of treble, but perfectly usable. Taking a look at the Zopa Z1 SC portable gaming monitor. So inside the box, you do get a Type A to Type. I wouldn't really use the built-in speakers for music or anything like that. If you do, it does have a headphone jack. Use that. It sounds decent through headphones actually, unlike some other portable monitors that seem to have really weird, just a really weird sounding headphone jack. This one sounds decent. Put in some headphones. You can use this to watch movies in HDR. It is a nice, good quality panel. Just being let down by poor quality control and software. Unplug this one, just want one cable, and yeah, the panel quality is really, really nice. If you are worried about ordering from AliExpress, don't be. They do have a really, really good returns policy, and if you're not happy about it, in most places, in most countries, you can just return it locally, just to a local like warehouse, and then they'll just handle it from there. And again, at least in the UK, the first return from your order is actually free as well. So if you do have any quality control issues, you can just return it back. Compared to the type of monitors you can get on Amazon, the screen on this is absolutely gorgeous. It is a really, really beautiful 144 Hz QHD panel. Really, really high quality, sharp, bright, good colors as well, really good colors. Just taking a quick look at the on-screen display, you do have 144 Hz here. You can adjust these things. You've got all of this as well. And then you've got all of this. A lot of this is unlabeled, but it does make changes to the display. You can play around with that. And then you've got all of this. You can switch, toggle between modes. You can turn on HDR, a eye saver, you know, eye strainer, and then volume. So yeah, this monitor is a nice monitor. As long as VCHANCE have sorted out their quality control, it is a really good monitor, really, really well built monitor as well. And yeah, I do like it. Thank you for watching, and take care.